What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke. In this episode, we'll be previewing the Essendon Collingwood game. So let's run that intro, jump straight into it. So before we do jump straight into it, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my Twitch channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more streaming than I currently am, which is none. Subscribe to my Instagram, @SwoopLuke, and subscribe to my TikTok, Swoop Luke. But if you're new here, if you're just tuning in, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for taking your time out to watch little old me. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, so you'll be the first to know when I drop some videos. But let's get into this preview. So Essendon come into this game off the back of pretty much one game, which was that 1-point loss to Carlton. Last week we know how that went. They had the chance to win it right at the death. Alas, they didn't. The week before, their game got called off against Melbourne because of the COVID scare with McKenna and quarantine and stuff like that. So they've only really played one game in 3 or so weeks. Before that though, they beat Sydney by around a goal, and the week before that, back in round 1, they had beaten Fremantle by around a goal as well. So they're not blowing teams out of the water. They're all pretty much close games that they're playing, but hopefully not a close game against us this week. With us though, we know what happened last week against the Giants, a 2-point loss after we had all the play in that final quarter. We put 1 goal 6 on the board in that final quarter, so we pretty much kicked ourselves out of it. We hit any of our set shots that we missed and we win the game. So it was very much a game that was decided by, a flick of a coin. It could have went either way, and it went GWS's way. But we only played to about 70% of our ability and only lost by 2 points, which is kind of the positive that I took out of that game. And we know what happened the week before against the Saints. Absolutely smashed them, put 10 goals on in that first half. Sure, kicked 3 goals in the second half, but our good football is there. When our good football is on, it is on. We just need that second half for us to click, and then we just need to be a 4-quarter team of football. That's all it is. But our form going into this game is pretty good. The last time we played them, you'll have to cast your minds back to August last year. It was when we went on that 4-winning run before the finals, cemented our spot in the top 4. This was a huge game in both teams, respectfully, and we were losing that game. We were down by 20 points at one stage. We ended up winning by 11 points on the back of some really good ruck work by Grundy, 4 goals to Mychek, and 3 goals to Jamie Elliott. That game is another game where we just didn't put them to the sword when we should have. We ended up finishing that game 10 goals, 16 behind. So you can see why it was so close, and something that's been a problem with us for the last few years that we really have to tighten up, and that's something that we can learn from that game. It is worth mentioning in that game as well that De Goey didn't play. Scharenberg went down with that injury, and so did Darcy Moore. So we were effectively 2 guys down for most of the game, and to win that by 11 points says a lot about the team spirit and where we can be when we're turned on. I think the main key area for this game is our defence. What it looks like without Jeremy Howe, and if we can start keeping teams to that 5 goals that we kept them for 3 rounds in a row. We let the Giants kick on a little bit, scoring 3 goals before we could peg them back. And that's very un-Collingwood-like this season, that they just had the jump on us, the Giants. But I think it's just because we don't match up well against them, and they've been doing this to us for the last couple of years. I think we match up very well against Essendon. They haven't got a tall forward line. I don't think Danaher comes back. But, without Howe, without playing that sweeper role, it will be very interesting to see who comes in and who steps up in that back line. So I will definitely be watching for that defensive structure, see if it holds up without Howie. I think Grundy will have a field day against Bellchambers. He kind of not lowered his numbers last week because he did have a good game. I think he went about 74% disposal efficiency. But nearly 50 hitouts, only 7 2-out advantage. So I think that was something on the training track that he's going to have to work on, and he probably has been working on it. So I think Bellchambers is in for, a shock to the system, and we could see Grundy finish with, 40, 50, 60 hitouts and maybe 25 plus disposals. Another matchup that I would like to see, I don't think it will happen, but Maynard on maybe Jake Stringer. I reckon chuck Maynard on him for a little bit. We know Toby Green kicked 3 goals on Maynard last week, so Maynard will want to enact some sort of revenge, and I think he'd be a great player to put on to Stringer. A bit dangerous, kicked 2 goals in the Carlton game last week. I can't really see anyone else really playing on him. Darcy Moore and Roughhead will be too tall. They've got McKernan to worry about. Or do you put Maynard on McDonald, Tip and Woody? It's going to be, it's going to be interesting to see who they put on him, because they're both very dangerous players if Essendon are up and going. Big call and predictions. So I think we'll win by 35 points. You know what? I'm going to say we're going to win by 35, 6 goals. We're just going to come out of the blocks, smash it hard. All of this thing with side bottom and stuff, we want to, put that to the back of our minds. Essendon are ripe for the taking, and I feel like this is going to really boost our spirits, boost the club, and we're just going to come out and smash it. My big call is that De Goey has a blinder and he's back to that A+, $2 million form. De Goey's going to kick 4 goals, play predominantly in the forward line from that full forward position, with Cox playing a little bit higher up the ground. Same with Myercheck. But De Goey with 4 goals is my big call. But look, guys, it has been a big week for the Pies. We really need to bounce back. We really need this game to bounce back. This would be my quick preview. I'd love to know all your thoughts below. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, Double Shackers, I'll swoop you later.